Welcome back to Philly Live. Here's a question for you. What do you do if you find an injured wild animal? There's only one wildlife rescue located in the city of Philadelphia, and it's part of a stunning nature education center that is open to the public. I visited the Schuylkill Center and its wildlife clinic to meet some animal patients and learn more about what goes into getting them ready to be released back into the wild. The Wildlife Clinic at the Schuylkill Center in Roxborough treats about 3,000 injured and sick animals per year, often brought in by members of the community or animal control. The clinic's mission is to rescue, rehabilitate, and release native species back into their natural habitats.
So our goal is to educate the public on how to safely navigate wildlife and how to live in coexistence with them. You know, a lot of people don't know a lot about wild animals, especially living in an urban environment. However, these animals were here before we ever were. This is their home too.
Many of the clinic's patients are orphan babies. If they can't be reunited with their mom, staff and volunteers nurse them back to health. After their treatment, patients get reacclimated to the outdoors in a pre-release enclosure where they can build their strength back up.
They can also work on practicing foraging, hunting.
It's a wonderful experience to be here. It's hard work, but you get to hold baby possums and baby squirrels and the flying squirrels, and it gives you great pleasure to see them grow up and be able to get back out into the wild again.
But not every animal is able to fully heal. Some who can't be released become permanent residents and take part in educational programs. Daisy the eastern gray squirrel is blind and suffers from mobility issues after she was raised as a pet and only fed human food.
She's still in training and still learning how to be a squirrel.
Gertie, the very friendly wood duck, was illegally raised by a human who clipped her wings before dumping her in a park.
Gertie has a special place in my heart. She was already imprinted on humans, which is the word that we use for when an animal thinks that they're a human.
So that's a real thing? I've heard of that.
Yes. If you've ever seen Twilight.
Yeah. Oh, she's really pretty.
People don't realize the impacts that they could be having by caring for an animal that they don't really know how to care for.
Gertie even acted as a foster mom to 2 wood ducklings, the first to be released since 2019.
Having her around to, provide comfort to our ducklings is super helpful.
Yeah.
Because of her upbringing, Gertie prefers human friends to other ducks. She took a special liking to our photojournalist, Brad.
She's very curious. What a cool girl you are.
The clinic's goal to educate the community about wild animals includes advocating for species that are often misunderstood.
Animals like squirrels and opossums, they actually do a lot of seed dispersal. They also do help with population control of ticks and of mice. Pigeons are one of our absolute favorites here, and domesticated as homing pigeons to deliver messages to folks during wartime, and then they were abandoned. There are pigeons out there that are currently being trained on how to detect cancer. They are incredibly, incredibly smart animals, and they don't get enough credit.
Just like Gertie, 2 pigeons named Ice Cream Sandwich and Pepper were paired with an orphan baby pigeon and fostered her.
2 amazing moms raising their baby together. So sweet.
Being able to teach people about, what's normal, what is, safe, and then being able to help those animals that do need help, and eventually seeing them off on their release is always the most rewarding.
Just listen for a second.
The Wildlife Clinic is part of the Schuylkill Center. With over 365 acres and 4 miles of trails to explore, this is a beautiful place to marvel at our natural surroundings. Every Saturday, visitors can take a guided hike with an environmental educator.
Learn about the flora and the fauna here at the Schuylkill Center. This is one of the most invasive plants. This is called mile a minute, and because it just grows a mile a minute. People can come and lose themselves in nature for just a little bit. It helps relieve stress, it helps us feel better. If you stand here, you don't even know you're in Philadelphia. It's so gratifying. Just seeing what nature can do for us, all you have to do is look around and you will constantly learn.
And because nature nature is for everyone to enjoy, the Schuylkill Center includes an ADA accessible trail and playground for kids. The Wildlife Center operates 365 days a year. Their hotline is open 24/7, and they do operate entirely on donations. If you find an injured animal and need guidance on what to do, give them a call. Depending where you live, another option to reach out to is Philadelphia Metro Wildlife Center. That's in Norristown, Montgomery County.